one with the Irving, right?
Yep.
Cool. So this is, I'm unique. This is my presentation on what I consider a universal concept from one planet. So for my article, okay, I chose Ryan Green. He's a theoretical physicist. He was a professor at Cornell and Columbia University, and he talks in his article, Art is a Different Kind of Cosmic Order. He talks about how basically science and math like surpasses a sort of like restricted and very like factual domain, which is held by like the studies of math and science. And so to pair, I chose Pablo Picasso, famous artist of the Cubist movement, and actually he was credited for creating the collage art style, which was because of his paintings, how it looked like just shapes and patterns put together with really like a different meaning than usual. And so he painted with oil on various different canvases, like linen canvases, asbestos panels, and types of plywood. So I'm gonna go into emotional expression, how art is able to sort of transcend that factuality of other studies. So first piece I chose is The Weeping Woman, and this painting was made to represent unspeakable grief and pain. So he takes different colors to create the woman's face and express what she's feeling through like the intensity of the purple and green and the light in the middle and all the different contrasting colors and put into different shapes and patterns. He used that to really send that message out there. My next piece that I chose was David from 1903. This was in his blue period, and this was a period of heavy depression for Picasso, since he had just had a friend die from suicide, and many of his paintings were made in this very like blue hue to represent his sadness he was feeling. And as you look around this painting, you see these people in the front, but as you look deeper, you see all the other people in the back who are also feeling that very heavy sadness and emotional weight which Picasso was feeling. So that kind of movement in the painting allows for it to be very like eye capturing, and it just keeps you like very hooked. The last piece was Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. This is representing a street in Barcelona, which there were many prostitutes lined up on the road. So Picasso talked about his fear, and that's how he represented the women in this painting, sort of not being distinguishable and very abstract. Like as you look at them, pretty much the only like parts you can tell are kind of their torsos. The rest just kind of like blends in with the painting. So like that use of color, he kind of made it so there is some contrast with the little strip of white in the background, but then again, like the darker brown matches with the lighter skin tone brown, so it kind of makes it harder to depict what you're really seeing, and it makes it more like surreal, and kind of represents his fear that he was feeling. And so yeah, this brings me to the conclusion of how art really transcends that whole limited like factual part of science and math, and he's also wrapped into how he says art is a different kind of cosmic order because it's something that allows humans to really understand their own place in the universe rather than just being stuck with what they know is fact, since art is not something you're able to solve or prove. It's just something you create, so it allows humans to be whatever they want to be. And yeah.
All right, audience.
I think you made a really impressive connection between this article and this artist. I feel like when I first think of the article, because we all read it, it talks a lot about like math and science. He's a theoretical physicist, but then to take a like older artist and connect it, and I think you did a really good job on that. So I'm impressed.
I really liked how you like mentioned the periods of his art, like bloom periods and stuff. You gave us like some context on like what the different periods meant.
Yeah, that was really important context for understanding the Weeping Woman, Cubist piece, and the V, which is part of his blue period. That was really well done. Thank you.
I liked how you had like two like drastically different like pieces of work from like different time periods. Like you had the Weeping Woman from 1937, and then that V from 1903. I like that.
What sense did you make of the masks that some of the prostitutes are wearing in this image, this painting? Because did you notice how some of them have faces, right, and other ones are wearing masks?
Like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm just curious if you had any ideas about that.
yeah, I just kind of thought like, well, it was a street with like women who were prostitutes, so he kind of maybe saw it as kind of like something like kind of a dehuman sort of thing. Like they're just out on the street for money, and I don't know. He thought that was like not very human. So that was kind of his fear. Like that's what he saw. So that's how he showed that in his painting.
Good. I think that analysis could connect to your earlier point about his use of color and how they're kind of blending in, with one another and some of the background. That sort of, dehumanizing or eclipsing of individual identity, which would reflect the social situation they're in.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. Awesome. Any other questions or comments from the audience? Thank you, Yannick.